What's the toughest part of managing a road trip for your guys?
I don't know that there's a tough part to it. I think, just you're away from home, the comfort of your own arena, your own bed, all those things. But as part of it, we've only played on the road, true road games 3 times this year. So about to start in on 4 in a row on the road. And then there's a stretch later in the season where we go 5 out of 6 on the road. So we obviously understand the importance of being able to execute and win in a tough atmosphere.
I know every team in the OVC has to do it with the 4 road trips. How do you approach that mentally with your team, knowing that you do have this long trip away from, like you said, in front of the fans and things like that?
I think it's easy for us. We don't really talk about where we play. We just go one game at a time and try and stay focused on the task at hand there. I think that really simplifies things for you as far as your preparation and how you approach every game. Because though we do have some oddities on our schedule this year. We put 5 of the 11 teams in the league. We play twice in 14 days. The road trips I mentioned. So I think just to eliminate any worries there, we just stay focused on one game at a time and try to prepare the best we can.
You had on Saturday you had 20 minutes from Daquan and 20 minutes from Chico. It looked like just splitting the time there. What are you seeing in their development at this point in the season, and where do you see the 2 of them taking their minutes moving forward?
Well, I think both really good players. I think both have different circumstances. Daquan coming off a true redshirt year in which he was out entirely due to a season-ending surgery. So I think you see him getting more and more comfortable every time out. Chico was playing very well, especially at the offensive end of the floor early in the season, and then suffered the fracture in his hand and missed almost 6 full weeks. So working his way back in. I just think you'll see both continue to get better and better as the season goes on, and they continue to get more and more experience and get into different situations that they'll see as the season wears on, as far as the different defenses they'll see and the talented point guards they'll go up against.
How would you describe how Chico worked to get back to this point? Because when he broke his hand, we didn't really know how long he was going to be out. But for him to get back to start of OVC play and kind of ease him back to the role, how hard has he worked to get back to this point?
Yeah, that's what I've been very proud of him for. I think there wasn't a period of time where he sat around and felt sorry for himself. He understood that the bone had to heal before he could come back. But in the meantime, I thought he really worked extremely hard to stay in as good a condition as he could. There's no comparing it to actual game conditioning, but I thought he worked extremely hard over the 6 weeks. I thought he studied a lot of film, did a nice job with the coaches, and did everything he could possibly do that was allowable by our medical team to be ready once he got back. And so it'll still take him some time. There's a little bit of rust when you miss that much game action, but I think he'll just keep getting better and better because of the hard work he's put in.
You spoke about his offensive ability before he was hurt. Is this a thing where you see kind of gradually getting back to where he was at that point before he got hurt, or is this something you see a little bit sooner or later because he has those games earlier this season under his belt?
Oh, I think he'll certainly benefit from that. I think he was 7 assists, 2 turnovers in the 2 games this weekend. I thought he was really good in the open floor, creating for his teammates. And I believe before the injury, I want to say he was shooting maybe 57% from the floor and a little over 40 from 3. So I have a lot of confidence in his ability to score. And as he gets his legs under him, I think you'll see that come to fruition.
Jacksonville State right now bringing their top 3 scorers off the bench. Are they trying to establish defense early on, or is there a reason you can see beyond that?
I'm not sure. They're playing really good basketball. They've won 5 out of 6. If you look at the numbers, they've been a dominant rebounding team over that stretch, and they've been a dominant 3-point shooting team. They're shooting it well and they're defending it well. So. And then I think the balance that you talk about, Neil, has been important for them. I think maybe 8 guys between 6 and 11 points a game. So they have a very balanced team, and they're playing very, very well right now.
Talking about this swing also, I don't know how much we'll see before Tech. I know you're not looking too terribly far ahead, but what can you tell us about Tech and what John Humphrey's running right now?
Yeah, I really don't know much about them. I haven't seen them play. It's just been focused these last 24 hours here on Jacksonville State. I know they returned Junior Clay, who was an all-conference player as a freshman. They added Darius Allen, a graduate transfer from Baylor, very talented. And I know he was able to sign some other junior college players and such when he got the job. So we'll find out more about them Thursday night as I start watching them. One of our assistant coaches has been watching them a long time, and I'll have the team ready to go.
Just as far as schemes, does Jacksonville State or Tennessee Tech do anything unusual?
No, I wouldn't say unusual. I think Jacksonville State, one thing maybe a little different, they have the 6'10" European center, Robe, who's shooting the ball at an incredible rate. He was 8 of 16 from 3 in their 2 games this weekend. So I do think that's a little bit different from some of the opponents we've seen this season, when you have a center who can step out and average 4 made threes a game at a high clip, 50%. So, but all in all, I think just a very good basketball team.
You've lost your last 2 trips to Jacksonville. How tough of a place is that to play, and how much does that just kind of play into the fact how good that they've been over the last
Yeah, I don't think that stuff matters. Past results, it doesn't impact this year's game. I do think, to your point, I think it's been maybe undervalued how good Jacksonville State's been the last 2 years. I mean, they've been a top 50, top 75 type team in the country. So they've gotten the better of us down there in the last 2 matchups, but I don't think that'll have any impact on this game. I do think they've made a nice financial investment in their program there and have really improved their arena. It's a nice place to play, and because they've had great success, it's become a great atmosphere to play in.
We haven't touched on this in a while. Now that we made it this far into the season, have you seen any adverse effects from the new three-point line?
Well, we haven't defended it as well over the course of the season as I would have liked. I think we've made some progress there outside of Parker Stewart's three-point barrage he put on in the second half the other night. Offensively, I think you see us maybe settling in a little bit, shooting it more consistently than we did earlier in the season. But no, I do think it changes the game, and I think just mention a guy like Robe for Jacksonville State. The things you can do offensively when you have guys that can space the floor like that can really open up the game for your team.
Devon Robinson this past week wasn't as productive as he's been, didn't have a bad week. Was that because of matchups or just freshman growing pains? How do you see
No, I think he is a true freshman, so I still think a lot to learn. But I think it was more just a product of how well KJ Williams played, and how well Anthony Smith played, and how well Devon played on Saturday night. That they commanded those minutes in those 2 games. I thought KJ's last 3 halves of basketball have been outstanding. Devon goes 14.7 rebounds on Saturday, and then I think Anthony averaged around 16 and 9 for the weekend. So nothing he's done wrong or poorly. I think just a product of those other guys earning those minutes and with how well they played.
How much, it sounds like a simple question, but how much fun is it to watch those 4 guys continue to compete at a high level? Because DeMond obviously is enjoying, being a part of that rotation, but those other 3 guys are now putting up the kind of starters numbers you would expect, and they're all pushing each other, it seems.
Yeah, I've said it all along. This team's been a lot of fun to coach. I think we're getting better. We still have a long, long ways to go, but I think we're making improvement because we've got an unselfish group. They're hungry. They want to get better. They want to learn. They have good chemistry together on the floor, and I think we play hard. And I think when you do that, you put yourself in position to keep getting better as a team, and that's certainly our ultimate goal here as the season moves on.
Are we still in a wait-and-see approach with Cowart?
Yeah, he's still out injured.